I had a very strong Prime Minister and Mrs. Gandhi who ranted and raved at me, said, "What are you doing about it? What are you doing about it?" And I said, "Nothing." I said, "It means war." And she said, "I don't mind if there's war. I'm not ready. I'm not prepared." And I said, "If you want me to do this, Prime Minister, I guarantee you 100% defeat." And there was dead silence. And she turned around and said, "The cabinet will meet at 4 o'clock. This happened at 10:30 in the morning. So, as the cabinet ministers walked out, I being the junior most man there, was the last to go, she said, "Chief, will you stay behind?" So I shut the door and I said, "Prime Minister, before you speak, do you wish me to send in my resignation on grounds of health, mental or physical?" I said, "Oh, sit down." So she said, "All right, you know what I want?" And I said, "Yes, I know what you want. And I must be allowed to do it my own way." And she said, "All right, you know that." So ladies and gentlemen, there's a very thin line between becoming a field marshal and being dismissed. I just gave you an illustration of moral courage. Of course, I didn't worry very much because my wife had money if I'd gone. And that takes me to the next attribute, moral and physical courage. But since I'm only talking to a handful of soldiers, and mostly civilians, I will lay emphasis on moral courage. Moral courage is the ability to distinguish right from wrong. And having distinguished that, you must have the courage to stand up and say your piece. Moral courage is essential.